तो हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू जावाइजेशन। एंड इस वीडियो में हम लोग देखेंगे एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट असाइनमेंट बेस्ड ऑन द एरे। सो अभी तक वट एवर वी हैव डिस्कस इन द कोर्सेस, we have discussed like how we can create an array and how we can do work with the array, what are the primitive data types we have. So based on that only we can do the operations. So we have understood like how can we create a integer type of object which is array. So int arr we have created like that, okay. And we have given the size for that, which is 5 or 6, okay. Same thing, we can create an array for the float, okay, float anything, and you can give the array, or you can write like that, okay. And you can write, you have to create the object of the float only. So float float, here you have to specify the size, which is 8. Same thing if you want to create an array for the like a string, so you can create a string s array equal to new string, and whatever the size you have to specify, you can specify it. So this is the string object. If you want to create a boolean array, so you can write like that, boolean b, and you can write new boolean. You can give the small also. So a small is primitive, and if you give the capital it will wrapper class. So boolean, and you can specify the size also, which is 7 or something. So like that you can create a whatever the primitive data types exist in our Java, we can create. For example, byte. So byte ba or something like that, you can create new byte. So for that you can create array, but make sure you have to give the size, like what is the size of particular array, like that. So but in now case we are going to create a array for the student, and student is our predefined classes, okay. Str we will write and equal to new student, okay. And we can create a 5 student array, okay. So this is the things we are going to cover in this video, okay. And we can store the 5 student data inside this array, okay. So this is the main important things, like how we can create a student object array, okay. A student object array, okay. And this is our user defined class, okay. Let's go and to the STS, and one by one I will try to resolve all those problems so that you can understood in the better way, okay, how we can do it, okay. So before going to do anything, let me create first close this. Once you close, Control Shift W you can press, it will close. I have to write a array mini project, so this is something like that. So I will create one more package. So in the package only I will create a class, and I will give the package name .com student, and inside this I will write one student class, alright. So here we have created one student class, okay. Inside this I told you like we have to create a whatever I have mentioned here, which is create a ID, name, mobile numbers, those fields, and course, okay. So copy those details and then come here, paste it, but make sure whatever the variables you are creating, make sure it will become a suitable for the like encapsulation. So we can make every variable as a private, and we can take ID as a int, and here we can declare as a simple. In the next line we can write private string, so name will be a string, and we can get the name. Third thing is private, and mobile number is also a string, so a string mobile number, mobile, and you can give semicolons here. And finally we have to do for the course, so private string course, Okay, and course is closed. So this is the details I have taken from the users. Okay, and this is I don't want to provide the direct access to the other classes, so I have encapsulated it with the help of the private keyword, so that it will become a encapsulated classes. Okay, what I will do next, so I have created the field. Okay, but he's saying like create the fields and create a student class, so I have create a getter, setter, constructor and to a string. Okay, so here our class is created, we have defined the variables, but we have not created the getter, setter. So you can do one thing, you can go down and just right click on that. Once you right click in the blank space here, you can see here source. Once you go to the source, you can see below getter, setter, generate getter, setter. You can select all those fields we have to generate for the all those fields, so select it and just generate. So it will generate for you setter, getter. Okay, understood? So this is the setter, getter for all those fields, it's generated automatically. We have to generate the constructor, so first generate the some default constructor. So what is the default constructor? This is the constructor using field. So generate it, no issue, using field first, and also generate without using field. So we can go to the source and again generate the constructor. Okay, deselect all so that it will generate the default constructor. So you can see it's generated the default constructor here. Okay, understood. So we have generated the default constructor and parameterized constructor also, and then after we have generated the getter, setter, and below we can generate one to a string method for printing. So we can go to the source, right click and go to the source, generate the to a string. Okay, select all those fields and just generate it. Okay, so to a string is also generated. So this class is now become a encapsulated class, and it's supporting the encapsulation, which is OOPS concept. Okay, so our class is ready. Now what I will do, I will create one more class which is test class, and in that we can create an object for that. So our first assignment is completed, our second assignment is completed. Now we have to do the 3. So create a method which take a 5 student value. What? 5 student value and return the student array. So those things I will do in some other classes. So let's go, and I will create one more classes. Okay, the class name is nothing but I will give like a student operation, a student BU, or you can give the student IMPL or something like student service, that is fine. So you can create one more class which is the student service, and inside this student service we are going to create a method. We are going to create a method which is going to fill our third task, which is take a 5 student value and return a student array. Okay, so take 5 student value from the users, value from users. So I'm going to write one methods. Okay, so how can I write here one method? So I can write public, and after public I will write something like statics. Okay, and after statics I can write here, I have to return the list of the student. So it means that a student array. So create a student array. So student, a student array, I have given the return type. Okay, so this is the very confusing. If you're not confused, that is good, but if you confuse, that is not good. Okay, so you have to be careful in that. So I am returning right now a student array. Okay, and here I will write take student details. So I have created one method called take student details, and I will create this method. Here I have to return something which is a student array. So as of now I will return null. Okay, Okay, done. So we have created one student class. We are using those student class as a data type here. Okay, and we are returning from this class which is null right now. But I don't want to return a null. I have to return a student array. So this class responsibility is take a value from users like 5 student, right? This is the responsibility of this method. So how this method will take the value from the users? So for that I have to create one scanner. So let's create the scanner sc equal to new scanner. Okay, scanner, here I will write system.in. So system.in. Now what I will do is I will take the value from the users. So for that I will print one message, hey, is out. Okay, enter enter 5 student details. So this is the one message we are going to print on the screen. Based on that he will enter the 5 student details. So the problem is like how we can take the 5 student details, and the details of the student is nothing but ID, name, mobile number, of course. This is the details, and we have to take the 5 student details. Okay, so if I do one by one, that is not good and convenient way. Let me write first. Okay, so take first student, take first student. So how can I write what I will do? First I will create an object of the student. So student s equal to new student, and new student I have created, and what I will do is I will create the object, and now what I will do is I will take the value from the users and I will set those details inside this student object. So what I will do is I will write s dot set. I have to take first ID. So here I will say, hey, take the value from the users sc dot next int. So this will take the ID. So before taking the ID, I have to print one message. S out enter student ID. So this is the message I have to print. Then only he enter the student ID. We can take those student ID. Now I have to ask with the users. Okay, again enter the student name. So once we enter the student name, I will write here s dot set name, not ID. This time set name, and I will take those value from the sc dot next. Just take the next only, first value only. Okay, next. Okay, again I have to take the third value. Okay, so let's do it. Third value, which is what? Student mobile number. So those things also we can take with the sc dot next, but the only set value is mobile. So set mobile. Okay, so this is the changes you have to done. Okay, mobile number, and here you can take course, and the course is also what? String type. So just write set course. So as of now we have created one object of the student. If you see here, this is almost 1 2 3 like 9 lines of the codes we have written to take the student object, and we have created and we have set the value inside this. Okay, so this is the one object. Same thing, we have to create one more object. Am I right? Yes, right. So take this one. This is the second. second student, give the name called S2. Okay, enter the student ID, and here we have to replace with the S2, 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 S2. Okay, do one thing, it's too much of the data we have to enter, but we can take 3 only. Okay, let's go with the 3. So we have taken the 3. So this is the one more student, which is third, second, third. This is the third student, so I will give the student name is, which is the 3, so that it will not become duplicate, and we can set into the S3, 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 S3. So as of now we have created 3 student object, and we have taken the value from the users. How much it's difficult to take the value from the users? Okay, it's too much difficult. Let's take here 3. If I take 5, it's too much. Let's take 3 only. And one more things you have to remember it. As of now we have created only a student object. As of now we have created only a student object 3, and we have not put it the value. As of now we can take this value from the users. Okay, and we have not created the, as of now, a student array. So you have to create a student array. So here I will write create a student array and add all student in array, then after a student, then after return a student array, then after return a student array. So how can I create a student array? I will write a student, we have a one class which is str, and here I will write new student array, and the size of the student array is, I will specify, which is 3 only. Not, I don't want more than that. I have to write lots of the line of the code. Okay, so I have taken this one, and what I will do is, so I will write str. So in the str is a array, so str 0 positions, I will store my first student object, which is s. In the str 1 positions, I will store my s2 object, which is the student 2. In the str 2 position, I will store my s3 object, which is third student. So we have stored the student, we have created the student array, and we have stored whatever the object we have a student inside this array, and finally I will return this str. So str is nothing but a student array. So we have returned it. Fine, fine. As of now 3 only. 3 is enough. But we have written so many lines of the code. So many lines of the code. So is it possible to do all those things taking the value from the users? Can we do like a through the loop? Because maybe this time we have taken 3. Maybe the requirement will come to the store 100 student, 1000 student. So if you do with this one, you have to write lots of the code. So what we can do, we can go with the loop, but not now, we can go later. Okay, so we have taken those value, and we have done, our task is done, it's fine. Okay, let's go to the assignment and create one display method which take a student array and print all student. So we have to create one more method which is going to take what? Create one methods. So this is something. So create one more method which is going to take the student array and it will print the student object. Okay, so I have to create one more method. Create method for display display all student, right? So I will write one method which is public statics void, and I don't want to return anything, so I have written void, and I have to write print or display, right? So display a student, or otherwise you can say display all student. Okay, this is the method name. You can give anything which is unique, and here you have to take a student array in the parameters, then only you can display those student. So how we can take a student array parameter? So you have to write student str, and this is the symbol you have to give, so that you can take the student array. Once you take the student array, you have to write, what you have to do, you have to write a logic to display all those students. So how we can write a logic to display all those students? Simply you can write one for loop. Let me remove this one. So you have to write one for loop, okay, and oh my god, for control space, go to the array index, and here you can see the str.length. So this is the student array, so it will give like what are the length of the student, so it will give, so automatically our for loop is created. Now what I have to do is we have to take one student and we have to display it. Okay, right? Yes, fine. So what I will do now, I will take one student and I will display the data. Okay, so what I will do is in the student array, if I want first student, so how can I take first student? I have to write str of 0, so it will give me the first index of the student. So I will create here student s, and first student I will store here in the student. So I got all those data of the student. So what I will do is, this loop will iterate 3 times because 3 students data is available here. So it will iterate 3 times. So I will give here I. So first time 0, second time 1, third time something like that. And then after, what I will do is, we got the data here into the S, and now I will display all those data of the S. So I will write here, okay, I will write here what, student, otherwise I can write here first student. So I will write I plus 1 and plus, and this one I will give in the parentheses, okay, and so it will display 1 student, 2 student, 3 student, like that, okay, and this is the something it will print. Okay, now this is the just awareness purpose, we have printed it, and now here we can write s dot id, get id, s dot get id, but we have to write here also like this is the id or something. So go here, double quote, and we can write here student id, student id, okay. Same thing we can take and we can give a student name. So here I will write a student name. Sorry, a student name. So it will give me the student name. So here I will also change student name. Okay, again S out. Okay, and here I will write student mobile, and here I will write s dot get student mobile. Okay, I will copy this one again and I will write for the course, and I am doing all those things inside the loop. So I will do for 1, and based on this I value we can get for the 1, 2 or 3 student. Okay, so please remember those things also. Here I will remove this one. So s dot get course, and here also I will write the course. So this is the basic things. So this will display, if I call this method display all a student. So our task is done. Let's go to the here and you can see print all those student only. So I have written code for the print all those student. So as of now we have created two methods, one for display the student data and one for take the value from the users and store inside one array and return those array. Okay, so this is the another methods we have created, and we have as of now created two classes. One is a student, so it is nothing but data type, and this is nothing but helper classes. What is this one? Helper classes. It help us to do the operations on some particular data type, student data types. Now I am going to create one more class, which is class student test. Student test. So this class is responsible to run our whatever the class we have created, like a student service, do the operations on that. Okay, so now I will create one main methods. You know main methods why we are creating. So we have created main method. Now make sure also we have not created any main method inside this. I have not created any main method inside this. I am creating the main method only inside the student test class. Okay, and inside this I am going to do what? So let's see. So here I am going to call, what is the method name? So method name is take student details. So I will write take student details. So I can take those details with the help of a student service. So because if you see this one, this method is a static method, and also this is the take student details methods, and this is available in the student service class. Okay, so I can call those method but with the help of the class name only. Okay, so because this is not available inside this class, this is the another classes it's available, so I have to write a student service. So through the class name I can call only. So you can see here a student service dot, we can see the method name take a student details. So I have called this method. So if I call this method, it will return one student array. So let's store this array. So str. So whatever the method we have called this one, it will send some student array. So whatever is sent, we can store in the str, and then after we can call one method called print, and we can send this array student list, so it will print it. So same thing, we have a student service again. In the student service only we have a one method called display all student, and we can pass the str, so it will display all those student details. So this is the simple things and simple method we have created, and we have do the operations on it. Okay, I hope you understood. Let me run so that we can see something. So once you run this class, okay, it's saying like, hey, enter 3 student details, and he asking like first student ID. So I will enter 101 101. Student name I will give Prince. Student mobile number something like, I will give. Student course something called Java I will give. It will ask again for the second ID, so I will give 102. Again student name, so Ajay. Mobile number, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. This is the mobile numbers. Course is Python. Student ID. Again he asking, so 103 I will give him. I will give Sonu. I will give Sonu. I will give the mobile number. So this is something mobile number I have given. The course is HTML. Okay. And finally, once I enter all those details here, you can see, once I enter all those 3 student details, now it's printing all the student. So this is the first student details, this is the second student details, this is the third student details, you can see. And properly it will display each and everything. So I hope you understood like how we can do work with this. But one more things we have done not good. Okay, here if you see in the student service classes, we have like if you go with the 10 or 50 student classes, then lots of the code we are writing. Okay, so that is not a good practice. So what we can do is we can remove those things. Okay, we can remove those things and we can write one loop. So through that loop we can take the data from the users. So just remove it. Just remove this one also. Okay, just remove this one also. And here you can see we are taking this data from the users. So that is fine, no issue in that. Okay, so just cut it. Okay, and now print here, enter the 3 student details. Okay, now take the loop. Now take the loop, and loop will iterate whatever the times or whatever the length he gave him as of that. So let's make it 3, and then after what we can do is here we can write something like take the details from the users. So this is the first. So whatever the code I have copied for the first student, so we can create one student object and we can ask all those details, and along with that we can add this student object inside this one student array only. So for that previously we have to create. So for that we have to create one student array. So student str array equal to new student, and here you can give the value is nothing but 3. Okay, and once we have taken the student details, okay, once we have taken, okay, let me minimize it. Once we have taken the student details, this is the student details. Now what we can do is we can add it. Add a student in student array. How? So str of I means 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So str of I we can store the s. Okay, so this is the first things you have to do. And before entering inside the loop, we can print one more details. Enter first. So how can I write first? We can give plus, and here I will write I plus 1. Okay, I plus 1, and again plus student data. So enter 1 student data, enter 2 student data, like that it will print. Okay, and we can take the data from the student, and finally we can store the student inside this. Again it will iterate second time, again it will create a object for that, again it will take the data, and again it will store inside this. Finally we have returned this str, and it will go and we can display it. Let me run one more time so that you can understood in the proper way. In the same code we have written, and I will maximize the console. Here you can see enter the first student data. So I will write 101, name, so Prince, mobile number, something like that, course Java. Then again it will ask me like enter the second student data. and it's printing the ID. So something like ID I will give in, something name I will give in, something mobile numbers I will give, something course I will give, again ID, again name, and again mobile numbers, and again course. So this is the three details we have entered, and you can see in the proper way it will printing all those details of the student. Okay. So this is the something mini project you can see based on the array, and that is very very important. Whenever you go to the industry or you do the real time coding, that time it's required and you have to do like that operations. So that time we are creating the one student class, so something called we are Pojo or Poji class or model class you can say, these classes. And then this is the service class. So service is nothing but it's provide the method, so you can use those method to do our work. Okay, so it's having a two methods you can see properly here. Okay, and this is the finally test, which is main method. So from that our execution will be started. So what will happen, once you run this code, it will call this method. It will check, okay, student service is available, yes, available. So it will call the take student details. So it will call to this method, so you can go to the this method. This method will take the value from the users and it will return the what, str. Once it is returned the str, you can go and you can see here str will be come. So here you can see the str array. Now again you are passing this str to the some other different method, which is display method. Now display method is responsible to print all those data which is available inside the str you send it. So this is the simple things and we have done it. Okay, thank you so much. If you have any issue or doubt in that, please let me know. I will definitely help you.